So, what is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I am coming at you guys today with another archetype video. And this time we'll be looking at a very special archetype, the Magician Girl. So, if we all know, Dark Magician Girl is one of the Magician Girls, and she is the most famous of the Magician Girls due to the fact that she was used by the main protagonist, Yu-Gi-Moto himself, during the Yu-Gi-Oh series, as well as her guest star appearance in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX as an opponent to Jaden Yuki. Dark Magician Girl overall is one of the most fan favorited female monsters in the game. And she honestly comes with one of the most generic effects, but she has some of the best supporting cast, not just because of her name, but because of the fact that she is a spellcaster. And spellcaster type monsters do seemingly have a really good and decent support, even when it's generic. So I will be taking a look at all of the Magician Girls and all the variations of the Dark Magician Girl for you guys in this video. So, without further ado, we gotta talk about the ever faithful apprentice to the ultimate wizard. That is the Dark Magician Girl. In the Japanese, she is known as Black Magician Girl. Her level 6, her attribute Dark, her type Spellcaster, her attack and defense 12,000, 2,000 attack, 1,700 defense. In her effect reads, this gains 300 attack for every Dark Magician or Magician of Black Chaos in the graveyard. So Dark Magician Girl's first appearance was, of course, in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series in the duel against Arcana, where Yugi summons the Dark Magician Girl to not only take out Arcana's Dark Magician, but to finish him off in the game. Since then, she was featured in a lot of more episodes as a supporting cast monster to Dark Magician. And funny enough, a lot of the spell cards that include Dark Magician Girl do include her ever faithful master, the Dark Magician. So, for those who don't know, yes, there is backstory between Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, even going on to the last season of the series for the original Yu-Gi-Oh series, where we go to the next monster that I wanted to talk about, and that is uh, Paladinium Oracle Mana and Paladinium Oracle Mahad. So Mahad and Mana, just before I go into her text, um, they were Mahad was the teacher to the Pharaoh. As we know, his name is now Atem, and Atem's teacher was Mahad, and his one of his close friends was Mana, who was Mahad's student. So the Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician were to come because they were based off of both Mana and Mahad. Mahad ended up becoming the Dark Magician due to him trying to stop Bakura and losing his life in the process, sacrificing himself to make sure that the Pharaoh was safe. But Mana did survive, and she got control of the ever faithful apprentice, Dark Magician Girl. So let's actually talk about her down Paladinian Oracle Mana. She is a level 6 light attribute spellcaster type monster, and just like Dark Magician Girl, she has 2,000 attack, 1,700 defense. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets one spellcaster type monster and no other cards, while this card is in your hand or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. Then you can only use this effect of mana once per turn. While this card is on the field once a turn, a dark level 7 or higher dark spellcaster type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So that is one of her big keys to being similar to the Dark Magician Girl, is that she can get the Dark Magician Girl, similar to how Mahad can get the Dark Magician from the hand, deck, or graveyard through his effects. Now, like I said, these two do have their ancient roots within the Yu-Gi-Oh series as master and student, and it does show throughout the cards because just like Dark Magician Girl has a ton of various artworks attached to her. She has the first one, which we have from Magician's Force. She has the second one, which is coming from the collectible tins, which was the first wave of tins. Then we have the Dark Magician Girl from the anniversary set, where she is just like her master, in the knees kneeling position, holding her staff and her hand on her head. Then we have the Dark Magician Girl that has only been released in the OCG due to Mr. Takahashi saying that he would not release a lot of his cards into the TCG because they would censor a lot of his cards. And I understand as an artist, you do not want your work censored. You work really, really hard to produce a lot of your artwork. You don't want to see it get, altered or anything like that just to compromise with someone else. But this is the Dark Magician Girl who is riding her staff as if she was a witch. Then we have the Dark Magician Girl who is from the dark side of the Dimensions pack, where she has the hearts in her background. And then we have another Dark Magician Girl, which is actually a play on the Dark Magician Girl's artwork from both the anime and the manga, where she was summoned standing next to Yami Yugi during his duel against Arcana when she was summoned. So, with all these, effects and looks of the Dark Magician Girl, there were a couple of monsters who looked like Dark Magician Girl, or just did not make the cut. In one particular Toon monster, they got the chance to be Dark Magician Girl. So we'll start off with the Toon variation of Dark Magician Girl. That is Toon Dark Magician Girl. Same stats as Dark Magician Girl herself. Level 6, Dark Attribute Sarcastic type monster, 2000 attack, 1700 defense. This monster cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned from your hand by triggering one monster while you control Toon World. If Toon World's on your field and this card is destroyed, Toon World goes on your field is destroy this card. You can attack your opponent directly unless they control a Toon monster, in which case that Toon monster becomes the target of the attacks. This card gains 300 attack for every Dark Magician or Magician of Black Chaos in the grave in either player's graveyard. So Toon Dark Magician Girl is pretty much just a Toon variation of Dark Magician Girl. She has to come to the field if Toon World is on the field. And the crazy thing, she was classed as a B class Toon monster. She could exist on the field, but she needs to exist on the field while she has Toon World. But she has an additional effect that the other two cards did not have, and that is the same original the same original effect as her original card. And it's very funny because a lot of people enjoyed the Toon Dark Magician Girl look because it's so playful on the original Dark Magician Girl. Next up, we got to talk about one of the monsters that was based off of Dark Magician Girl, Magician's Valkyria. She's a level 4 light attribute spellcaster type monster with 1600 attack, 1800 defense. Her effect reads your opponent cannot select other spellcaster type monsters you control for an attack target. So, the Magician's Valkyria, just like Dark Magician Girl, was another card that Yami Yugi used in the series. He actually didn't use this particularly in the series as much. He actually used this during the first Yu-Gi-Oh movie with the Pyramid of Light. And funny enough, this was a card he used to battle against Kaiba. The Magician's Valkyria is actually not too bad of a monster herself. She was very extremely hard to find, and I do believe she was reprinted in a couple of sets after, but still very hard to find herself. But the Magician Valkyria has a similar setup to the Dark Magician Girl, as they have a similar hat and dress and setup and attire, and also has the magic circle in her background. We move on to one of the most recent prints of a monster that's based on the Dark Magician Girl, and that is Apprentice Illusion Magician. She's a level 6 light attribute. She's a level 6 dark attribute caster type monster with 2000 attack, 700 defense. You can summon this card from your hand by discarding one card from your hand. If this card is no longer social summon, you can add one Dark Magician from your deck to your hand. During the damage calculation of either player's turn, if another Dark Spellcaster type monster battles an opponent's monster, you can send this card from your hand or face up from your side of the field to the graveyard, and that monster you control gains 2000 attack and defense during the damage calculation only. So, what this is pretty much a play on an honest, where you can send this card from your hand or from the field to the grave. Kind of also like a combination of honest and Jurigato, because Jurigato has a similar effect where it can send itself to the graveyard from the field or from the hand to give a monster additional attack points, just like Apprentice Illusion Magician. She is based off of Dark Magician Girl for her scheme and setup. Looks just like that of Dark Magician Girl's anniversary artwork. But for the most part, she is just trying to be a Dark Magician's honest. And she does it pretty well, if I say so myself. So now that we've talked about all the main deck Dark Magician Girl-esque monsters, don't worry, we'll talk about the extra deck ones very soon. It's time we move on to the Magician Girls. So the Magician Girls, for the most part, came in Dark Sides of the Dimension. Each of them are actually based off of food. Particularly, one of them did not meet the cut in terms of the fruit aspect of it, but she at least did fit into something sweet as opposed to something savory. So we'll start off with the first magician girl. That is Berry Magician Girl. She's a Earth attribute level 1 spellcaster type monster. 400 attack and defense. If this card is normal summon, you can add one Magician Girl monster from your deck to your hand. Once a turn, during either player's turn, when an opponent's monster activates a card or effect that targets this card for an attack, you change this card's battle position, and if you do, you set summon a Magician Girl monster from your deck, except for Berry Magician Girl. So this cute little adorable pixie is the one of many Magician Girls, and crazy enough, she, just like her sisters, has the ability to special summon monsters or interact with other Magician Girls. She is based off of I believe it's a cherry berry she's based off of due to her pinkish attire and the fact that I believe her color scheme is based off of that. Now, there could be another berry that she's based off of, but I'm just assuming that. Or maybe she's a combination of three berries in one: strawberry, raspberry, and blueberry. Alright, we move on to the next Magician Girl, and that is Lemon Magician Girl. She's Light Attribute Level 2 Spellcaster type monster with 800 attack, 600 defense. Once per turn, you can tribute one Magician Girl monster, except for Lemon Magician Girl, to add one Spellcaster type monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, you can target one. If this card is targeted for an attack, you can set summon one Spellcaster type monster from your hand, but its effects are negated if it has any. And then you change the attack target to it. The monster attacking that selected card, its current attack is half of its original attack. So the Lemon Magician Girl is a redirector and has the ability to have a monster's attack and swing the monster to the new monster as the attack target. Lemon Magician Girl's out scheme is the color of yellow, which is a symbolization for lemon. Next up is Apple Magician Girl. She's a level 3 fire attribute spellcaster type monster, 1200 attack, 800 defense. Once a turn, if this card is targeted for an attack, you can summon one level 5 or lower spellcaster type monster from your hand. Then change that monster to the attack target. And if you do, the attacking monster's attack becomes half of its current attack. If this card is destroyed in battle or card effect, you can target 3 Magician Girl monsters with different names in your graveyard and add them to your hand. So funny thing about Apple Magician Girl before I get into her color scheme is actually red, which is based off of color of an apple. Berry Magician Girl is also the first fire monster that has ever been used in Yugi's deck. We don't count Flame Swordsman because that technically is an extra deck monster, and that was also Joey's. But Apple Magician Girl sings the same attribute level attack and defense of one of Jane Yuki's monsters, the elemental hero Bracinatrix. Now we move on to the next Magician Girl, and oddly the odd one of the Magician Girls. This is Chocolate Magician Girl. She's water attribute level 4 spellcaster type monster, 1600 attack, 1000 defense. In her effect reads, once per turn you can discard one spellcaster type monster, draw one card. During once per turn, if this card is targeted for an attack, you can target one spellcaster type monster in your graveyard, except for Chocolate Magician Girl, and special summon it to the field. Then change it to the attacking target. And if you do, the attacking monster's attack becomes half of its current attack. The Chocolate Magician Girl is the odd one out, as she is not a variation of fruit, but she's a variation of chocolate. And which is also funny because unlike the other magician girls, she does not have the same color scheme as the food she is based off of. She is blue. Chocolate has never been blue unless you add food coloring to it, or you add some type of setup to it to where it looks blue on the outside. But we move on to the last of the Magician Girls, and that is Kiwi Magician Girl. She's a level 5 wind attributed Spellcaster type monster, 1800 attack, 1200 defense. And her effect reads during either player's turn, you can discard this card Magician Girl cards you control gain 300 attack and defense for each Magician Girl monster with a different name on the field and in the graveyard until the end of the turn. So I guess the type of monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, and your opponent cannot target them with card effects. So she is the ultimate defense and ultimate boost for the Magician Girls. And her color scheme is based off of a the insides of a kiwi, which are green. Now we move on to one last supporting card, and actually this comes from the Legendary Duelist Pack 6 Magician's Comeback. And this is the Magician's Soul. So this card is a level 1 spellcaster type monster, dark attribute, 0 attack and defense. If this card is in your hand, you can send one level 6 or higher spellcaster type monster from your deck to the graveyard to activate one of the following effects. Special summon this card, send this card to the graveyard, then you can special summon one Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard. You can send up to 2 spell trap cards from your hand and or your field to the graveyard, then draw that same number of cards that you sent to the graveyard. You only use each effect of Magician's Soul once per turn. So this is a little addition to the Dark Magician Girl archetypes. And the funny thing about it, I believe, is that its picture depicts of both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl in the same artwork, which is great because you'll see a lot of them through the spells and traps. So actually, let's get into the spells and traps. These are really simple ones. We start off with Sage's Stone, normal spell card. Its effect is if you control a face of Dark Magician Girl, you can special summon the Dark Magician from your hand or deck. Next up is Dark Magician Girl's signature attack, Dark Burning attack, which is known as Dark in OCG as Black Burning. If you control a Dark Magician Girl, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Next, we have Bond between teacher and student. Quick normal spell card. If you control Dark Magician, you can summon Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And you can send one Dark Magic attack, one Dark Burning attack, one Dark Burning Magic, or one Dark Magic Twin Burst from your deck to the field. Then you can only activate one bond between teacher and student per turn. Speaking of Twin Magic Burst, here it is, Dark Magic Twin Burst. Target one Dark Magician you control. It gains attack equal to the combined attack of all Dark Magician girls currently on the field and in the graveyard. Until the end of the turn, you only activate one Dark Magic Twin Burst per turn. Then we have Dark Magic Expansion. You apply these effects in sequence based on the number of Dark Magician and or Dark Magician girls on your field or in your graveyard. If it's one or more, Dark Spellcaster monster uh, on your field gains 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. If you have two or more, this turn your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to your spell, traps, or monster effects activated. Also, spells and traps you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. If you have three or more Dark Spellcaster monsters you control, are unaffected by your opponent's card effects until the end of the turn. Next up is Dark Magic Inheritance. You can banish two spell cards from your graveyard and add one spell trap card from your deck to your hand that specifically lists Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl in its text. Except for Dark Magic Inheritance, you can only activate one Dark Magic Inheritance per turn. Next up is Dark Burning Magic. If all monsters on your field whose original names are Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Next up is a new quick play spell. This is Dark Magic Secrets. You can activate one of the following effects. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand and or field as fusion materials, including Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. Then you can ritual summon one ritual monster from your hand by attributing monsters whose level monsters from your hand or field, including Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, whose level is a total equal to or exceeding that level. Next up is the equipped spell Magic Formula. Equipped only to Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, the card gains 700 attack. And if this card is sent to the field, is sent to the from the field to the graveyard, gain 1,000 life. And the only trap card for the Dark Magician Girl is Magician's Combination. Continue this trap. But its effect is once per turn when a card effect when a card or its effect is activated, you can contribute one Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, or special summon one Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your hand or graveyard with a different name than the attributed monster. And if you do, negate the activation of that card's effect. If this face-up card in your spell and trap card zone is sent to the graveyard, you can destroy one card on the field. This is funny thing because this card not only includes Dark Magician Girl, but it includes Magic Formula and Magic Cylinders. If you're not too familiar with Magic Cylinders, it was a trap card that could apparently only be used with Dark Magician Girl. In the real game, it's actually just a card that says if your opponent attacks you, negate the attack and then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's attack. So now we go on to the extra deck, and we have a couple of extra deck monsters to talk about. The first one is Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. She's a level 7 spellcast. She's a level 7 Dark Attribute Dragon type monster with 2600 attack, 1700 defense. You need one Dark Magician Girl and one Dragon monster. Must be fusion summoned with the above material or with the Eye of Timaeus. Once per turn, quick effect, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one face-up card on the field, and destroy that target. This monster's artwork is from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, where Dark Magician Girl was fused with the effects of Aya Timaeus to bring out this legendary swordsman. Funny enough, she was one of the few magician cards, just like Dark Magician, to fuse with the Aya Timaeus. Next up is the new spellcaster type monster for the Dark Magician class. This is Dark Magicians, known in the OCG as Dark Magicians, the Ultimate Wizards. This is a level 8 Dark Attribute Spellcaster type monster, 2800 attack, 2300 defense. And its materials are Dark Magician and or Dark Magician, Dark Magician Girl with one Spellcaster type monster. Once returned, if a spell or trap effect is activated, you can draw one card. And if you draw a spell or trap card, you can send it to the graveyard. And if it's a quick play spell, you can set it, and if it's a quick play spell or trap, you can activate it that turn. If this card is destroyed, you can special summon one Dark Magician Girl and one Dark Magician from your hand, deck, and our graveyard. The monsters in this artwork are, of course, upgraded forms of both the Dark Magician and the Dark Magician Girl. Then we have the last of the monster support for the extra deck support for the Magician Girls, and that is Maji Magician Gal. She's a rank 6 Dark Attribute Spellcaster type monster with 2400 attack, 2000 defense, and needs 2 level 6 spellcaster type monsters. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, then banish one card from your hand, and activate one of the following effects. Target one of your opponent's monsters and gain control of it until the end of the phase of the turn. Target one monster in your opponent's graveyard and special summon to your side of the field. Maji Magician Gal is sadly enough not here in the TCG for just similar to the original, to one of those alternate artworks of Dark Magician Girl. Takahashi did not want censorship on his beautiful Maji Magician Gal, so he did not release her into the TCG. One reason is because it would alter her already. Well, the only thing that would be altered is probably the Ankh attached to her necklace. And the crazy thing about it is that Maji Magician Girl's artwork is already censored enough as it is. She doesn't have the cleavage that you normally see from Dark Magician Girls or variations of Dark Magician Girls. And she's actually supposed to be a adult variation of Dark Magician Girl, just similar to Evan Dark Magician, who is an upgraded version of the Dark Magician. But that is pretty much it for all of the Magician Gal support. And just before I go, of course, we have to pay mentions to Dark Magician, Paladinian Oracle Mahad, of course, the Magician of Black Chaos, in the spell card, the Eye of Timaeus. Support cards for the Dark Magician Girl are cards that interact with Dark Magician Girl because of them both being Dark Magicians. So that is pretty much it for this Archetype video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy all of the Archetype videos and other videos to come. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hit that bell so you guys can be notified when I upload more content. Thank you guys so much for watching. HPJ signing out. Take care.